The scary model update adds support for multiple skeletons. Because 2 days ago, it could only detect 2 people. If there were more than 2, the skeleton animation would be incorrect. Now we can see that it supports more people, and we can guide during a single video generation. So for generating such a paintbrush effect video, we can do a lot with the first frame image, including things like fake background replacement. A 2.1 CN update for the sculpture model can perfectly integrate with our previous workflow. So where's the improvement? The main change is that our generation speed has increased by 30 to 40%. Then let's take a look at the workflow. I'm using the RunningHub online compute platform, where the latest and best technologies are continuously updated in sync. Workflows can also run online. So many updates actually use this node, which is an update from the SCAIL pose plugin. We can enter the number of people to be detected here. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, we should input 3. The preceding frame is connected to the DW pose, with the video input coming from the front of the DW pose. The reference image below uses this reference DW pose as its input. So this node should inherently perform a bone alignment operation. I took the first frame here and then did some image editing, so there's nothing special to align on the skeleton. Just render it directly. Let's take a look at the results directly. In the results, we can see this 10-second video. When the 2 figures switch places, something changes. The person on the right walked over to the one on the left and suddenly transformed completely like a magic trick with a living person. Another result is that I transformed hand sewing into a Star Wars style and then generated rough videos. Of course, there's also guidance from the bones. For the SCAIL model, the binding between particles isn't very strong. This was already observed in previous render tests, and that's actually an advantage. The result is actually quite good overall. The only imperfection was the flickering on the left character, which wasn't controlled properly at that moment. Detecting and segmenting bone videos can resolve many issues, and our reference images don't necessarily need to be manually aligned frame by frame like I did. The result is that the background was changed, but the keyframes were not aligned. We can see it runs very smoothly under the guidance of the skeletal animation, perfectly blending into this scene. If the SCAIL mode definitely has some flaws, it's still mainly due to the resolution. This is an overall update on the work. The previous 2 processes still apply for 2 people. In our bone detection video, there are only 2 people. According to our previous upload process, everything is fine and it will look better. Navigate to RunningHub's AI or click the link in the introduction to register and get 120 HB daily. Logging in every day will also reward you with 100 points. The corresponding AI workflow and one-click AI applications have been deployed online and can now be run and tested online. This update to the 2.1 model. The reasoning speed was slow, but the recovery speed returned to normal. We don't need to test it specifically, we can just use this new model. Then, when the model was updated to version 2.0, there were some tips below. This part remained unchanged, including control strength and step count. The intensity should not be too high, increase the number of steps instead. This workflow still works with version 2.1. Just switch the model to version 2.1 here. For this CN node, ComfyUI officially updated a dedicated CN node specifically for image generation models. The online version of RH hasn't been updated yet. We'll use this node. Still applicable, what about performance differences? In personal testing, it's not really that big of a deal. Not using dedicated nodes would be even better. I went even further here, using the maximum weight of 1. This value can actually be set higher, but that's another story altogether. The update 2.1 has no real changes, and the difference in effects isn't significant. So we still use this separated sigma node. High noise end, low noise end, results after image generation. Then finally, there's 2 enlargements. The one on the right is a 1,000,000 pixel zoom, which is extremely useful. Here is the control level of the CN. We can see that clearly 50% of the area is generated based on our control image. Then, multiple refiners were used to pursue texture and other qualities. So most of the time, this channel shares open source models and projects, but closed source models are where RunningHub really shines. It brought down the prices of many popular models like V2. Some models like Keling and Wanxiang have specifications that are even lower than the officially announced prices. The more you use it, the more you'll realize that saving up over time really adds up.